AI is everywhere today. From ChatGPT writing code to tools generating automation scripts automatically. So, a biggest question many people asking now is, will AI replace the software testers? If you're a QA engineer, manual tester, or someone planning to enter software testing, this question might even worry you a little bit. So, in today's episode of Test with Me, let's talk about the reality. Can AI really replace software testers? Or is it going to help us become a better testers? Hi, welcome to episode 3 of Test with Me. First, let's understand why people think AI is going to replace testers. In today's world, we have AI tools literally for everything. AI can do anything, right? This is what the belief what we carry. Let's understand how in testing world or what kind of tools we have, what's its capability, will it actually gonna replace testers? Let's analyze that. Today we already have AI tools that can generate test cases automatically. It can also create automation test scripts, even detect the UI changes. It has the capacity to analyze the large amount of test data very quickly. It can also predict where in the system a bug might appear. Because of all these capabilities, people have that fear AI is smarter than us. For example, most of the organization already started to include some of the AI tools in their systems. For example, ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot, Testim, and even other AI testing platform that can help testers write automation scripts faster. Before, what used to happen, we have to manually write all the code, and then it used to take a lot of time in creating one single test cases, which has now been reduced to you can generate the same test case or the same test scripts in seconds. Because of all these capabilities what AI carry, some people believe that AI will eventually replace manual testers and even to an extent and automation testers as well. Let's understand the strength what AI carries. AI is extremely good at doing repetitive and data heavy tasks. For example, AI can quickly generate hundreds of test cases based on requirements. It can scan UI and detect visual differences between the builds. It can also run thousands of automated tests much faster than humans. And it can also analyze logs and error messages to identify the possible defects. So, in terms of speed, automation, and handling the large data, AI is incredibly powerful. But software testing is not only about speed or automation, isn't it? What are the values that we humans bring in as a testers? Now, this is where we have to understand how can a human tester becomes important, right? What are those values that human testers can bring to the table? Because a good tester doesn't just follow the scripts. We have that capacity which AI doesn't, is we do ask questions. What's gonna happen? What could break if something goes wrong? Or how a real user interact with this feature? Or what happens when I try to do something unexpected? This type of thinking is called as exploratory testing, and it requires creativity as well as critical thinking. Testers also need to understand the business requirement, what could be the user behaviors in certain scenarios or situations, and what is the product expectations. For example, just imagine a banking application, right? AI, what can AI test? AI might check whether the login button works, but what as a human we might think, what happens if if a user loses internet during a transactions, or what if I try to use a special characters, or what if the session expires during the payment? This type of real world thinking is very difficult for AI to replicate. And this is where, my dear friend, we as a tester adds a lot of value when it comes to testing. So instead of replacing testers, AI will eventually change the way testers work. What the future looks like, right? With all this AI in the world, what the testing world can look like in future. Testers will be spending very less time doing the repetitive work such as writing test cases or even running the manual regression test cases. Instead of doing all these things, what should be the major focus of testers is planning the test strategies, doing exploratory testing, doing the risk analysis. This is where extreme value will be added to the product what we are trying to deliver, right? And improving the product quality, working very closely with developers, and also getting very involved during the analysis phase. So this is where we can ask all those questions, right? What, where, which, why, what's going to happen in this situation, or can a user be also doing this, etc. So by doing all these things, we will be bringing a lot of value to the work what we are doing. So AI can become a more powerful assistant for the testers and definitely cannot be a replacement. So the testers who can actually learn how to use the AI tool effectively will become more valuable in this industry. Instead of fighting who is better, it is more about how can we work together and then be a powerful couple, right? So the answer to the biggest question, can AI replace the software testers? My honest answer is no. AI can never replace any testers. AI will automate some of the tasks, but it cannot replace the human creativity, curiosity, and the critical thinking what we bring to the table. The future belongs to those testers who are willing to adapt, learn new tools, and evolve with the technology. If you are a tester today, the best thing what you can do is start learning automation, understand the AI tools, and keep improving your testing mindset. Because the combination of AI plus skill tester can create a better software than ever before. I hope today's episode of Test With Me has brought some clarity about the questions what everyone had about the AI. Let me know in the comment section if you also think AI will replace software testers in the future and how we can have a healthy conversation. And if you have enjoyed this episode of Test With Me, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next testing discussion. Until then, bye.